ban that you were talking about from ROCCAT.
Yeah, so Twitch ban again. Expected at least, and also with the Yasuo here taking away from Coutard. I actually like that because Coutard has really shown he's so good on this champion here. He's actually carried games for the Wolves, so I like the fact they banned away.
So what will the next one to be? Jax taken out. Xaxus, of course, has already showed us his hand when it comes to Jax in the spring split and into playoffs. Kassadin, third and final ban out here for ROCCAT. Red side Kassadin ban, who would have thought it? Leaving Evelyn open here though for the jungle for Airwax. He's going to take that away this time. Of course, not going for Yorick. And
Trolling
I think
with the
ROCCAT,
picks.
yeah, they may be trolling slightly with this one, hovering
A little
over
bit.
Vladimir and Yorick.
Little bit. He should be Lee Sin here, or of course the least pick for Jankos. First picking Evelyn is actually something a bit strange now, where there's so many teams who really favors Lee Sin as the first pick when you want to go for the jungler here. But of course, Copenhagen Wolves, we saw Airwax actually play Evelyn in week 1, where he managed to flank around and actually start a very good team fight and win the game for the Wolves.
Win, yeah.
Exactly, and the only win for the Wolves. He actually played Evelyn. Could be the reason, of course, for the lock-in.
See about that and what ROCCAT are actually going to go for here. And Ziggs as a first pick could be interesting, considering that ROCCAT have final pick and could counter what Coutard goes for. But we know that Coutard himself likes to play that Ziggs, and with a couple or 3 mid lane or 4 mid lane bans, I always forget about Kassadin because he's banned out so often. Ziggs taken now, priority for ROCCAT, along with the Lucian. The AD carry locked in here for ROCCAT on their first round.
So very safe picks, a lot of wave clear, a lot of poke potential from ROCCAT from the start here. Really already showing what their comp is going to be about. We can group up now. I would expect someone like Xaxus to go with either Shyvana, Renekton or Trundle and focus on split pushing up in the top lane. And then you have 4 members with the Ziggs, with the Lucian in the mid lane to just start poking, sieging down, which is a comp that always works great as long as you're not falling too far behind. And even if you do fall behind, you can always just extend the game and farm and therefore try and look for the comeback.
So what will the Wolves add in now? Will they be locking in for Youngbuck in the top lane? We've been a little unimpressed, I think it's safe to say, with the picks that he's brought to the table so far. Vladimir a couple of times. Lulu didn't really work for him. Looked like they were really trying almost too hard to crowbar that one in. The only win, funnily enough, that they had was with Trundle in the top lane, a signature champion type for Youngbuck. And he's going to go back to that here with the Shyvana. Also taking the Thresh for Unlimited.
So Youngbuck is really a Bruiser player. Much like Wicked, much like Freddy. Loves to play the Bruisers here. AP champions didn't work for him at all, and in the past as well. I mean, yes, his Vladimir actually has been his main champion, or one of the main champions for him for many years, but still, right now, Copenhagen Wolves need him to play a Bruiser where he can first of all be in the front line and tank a lot of damage, or he can focus on split pushing and applying pressure for the Wolves, and then they can do something else on the map. Last split, it was pretty much all the time someone like Ziggs, Caitlyn, or Lucian, and they would just do this 1-4 split push and it worked for them.
Also want to say that Thresh is not a champion that Unlimited really plays. We've not seen it on him so far. I think he didn't even play in the spring split overall, maybe once or twice, but definitely not a player who really prioritizes that Thresh pick. On the other side though, the definites that we have, Irelia for the top lane for Xaxus, Lee Sin for Jankos in the jungle.
Yeah, so if they get the Lee Sin here, ROCCAT could even delay the pick, of course, because due to the fact that Evelyn was first picked, could take it later here, of course, get, in my opinion, the best jungler at the moment. Lee Sin over to Jankos, of course, a champion he enjoys playing a lot. Irelia up in the top lane against Shyvana here. Both of them actually follow each other pretty well. Going up in both of them also very strong when it comes to team fights.
So for the Wolves on their final 2 rounds, looking for a mid laner and an AD carry. Lulu and Cogmore, really wouldn't be surprising me to see that one, or that combo being locked in. Of course, you've seen 2 champions for Coutard so far this season. First 3 games, he played Yasuo. That's banned out this time around. The last 2 games he played Ziggs, that was already first picked here by ROCCAT. So going on to something new, at least for this split, that'll be the Lulu for him. And as I said, Cogmore the choice here for Woolite. The second time we'll see him on that as well. They opened up the season with a Cogmore against Alliance.
And this is really a comp you would actually see Alliance play, because we have the Lulu Shyvana coming in here, so Shyvana can jump in, get the wild growth, knock up multiple members. That's your engage, followed up then by, of course, Evelyn flanking around with her ulti, and that's how you start the fights. A lot of slows coming down onto ROCCAT so you can start chasing. And then also, of course, you have to peel with Lulu and Thresh in case it's actually ROCCAT engaging onto you here. So very nice comp here from Copenhagen Wolves, and one we've seen from Alliance, and they really make it work.
On the other side, ROCCAT are looking for their support here, and if you look at what Vander's already played, Zyra and Leona, Thresh, Nami, I think it's going to be the Leona in here. We did see it with Illusion in Game 2 of the season where they picked up the win against Gambit, and as the time ticks down, we see that Vander will in fact lock in the Leona.
So ROCCAT wanted some hard engage in the comp here, and of course, with Vander on Leona, he will be the one to start the fights, followed up by both Aurelia and Lee Sin jumping in. You have the bomb from the Ziggs, everything. A lot of all-in potential here from ROCCAT, and only actually the Lulu and the Thresh then to peel and kite away. There's no Nami, no Zyra to knock them up. They have to be slowed down, and then you just kite backwards with the rest of the Copenhagen Wolves team here. So it can definitely work for them. Both teams here providing some decent wave clear. Both of them, the Bruisers of course in the top lane. Both are going to bring teleport, no surprise at all. Aggressive early junglers, 2 good AD carries. One of them, of course, Woolite is going to scale better when you come to the real late game. But then, of course, Lucian has his early game and mid game power.
And will we see the Cogmore get to the late game? That's the question.
That's the question.
We've not really seen answered so far in the games where we've had that Cogmore in there. But guys, now that we know the champions, do you still think that ROCCAT are going to come out on top of it? Let us know by tweeting at LOL Esports with hashtag CWWin or hashtag ROCWin, and we'll see if you guys change your mind a little bit later on. Did change your mind in our last game, but actually it just became even stronger of a vote in favor of Fnatic.
And again, looking at comps in this game, it's so hard to predict. I mean, they're very even with each other here. Both have pretty much the same kind of playstyle, except for the support picks, where one of them, unless you land the hook, could be the engage, but otherwise you have the hard engage support, and then you have the peeling support instead here to help out Woolite in the team fights. So that's the only difference actually for them. We need to see how Copenhagen Wolves will handle here the early game, where of course they need Woolite to farm up in the start, where Selva can be more aggressive on Lucian and try and set something up with Vander.
And it's interesting as well because the Wolves have had trouble late game, finishing off games. Cogmore, of course, the later we go, the stronger he's going to be overall. We'll see about that one here as we head into game for the Copenhagen Wolves versus ROCCAT. A bottom-of-the-table clash. These two teams really looking for a win. Of course, they between them only have a win apiece. One against Millennium for the Wolves, and of course the Gambit win for ROCCAT. And
both these teams here in the last split, people were talking about how the potential was there. They could become great teams. Both of them could actually move up the ranks in Europe as well. ROCCAT, of course, with the third place. Copenhagen Wolves had to play promotion tournament. Still managed to re-qualify without any issues, to be honest. So people are still talking about how these teams could actually step it up, become even better. Maybe even challenge some of the real top teams here in Europe. Didn't start well enough for them. As we talked about, big issues when it came to rotation, focus on objectives as well. Laning phase has actually been decent for both teams though.
Laning phase not been a problem for them whatsoever. And you have to wonder then, especially from the Wolves side, is that all about the synergy when it comes to these team fights, having the 2 new members in? Then you say the same about ROCCAT, a team that's been together for such a long time, managed to finish 3rd when it came to playoffs.
So ROCCAT is, for me, shot calling is a big deal. Also, the pick and ban phase in some of the past games has been a bit weird, where they often would either get outscaled or just be way too weak early game with their champions. So they didn't really find a match here.
Look at that vote, really coming back down and, in fact, changing in favor of the Copenhagen Wolves here. 51 to 49%. Doesn't get much closer than that without the 50-50 draw coming in. So, very interesting game. As you said, bottom of the table clash, but just as important as the top of the table clash that we saw in game 1 between Alliance and SK Gaming here today. We'll see who can get off to the better start out of these two.
Every single win matters here in Europe. With all the tiebreakers, again, think back to last year in the summer split where we had the 5-way tie or something. One win there for any of those teams could have changed it, actually moved them up to even just 2nd place in the league. So every single win here counts. Of course, you want to get to the playoffs, and then you have a chance of going towards Worlds. But you also want to use these games to really step up your gameplay. And Vander going aggressive here early on to Woolite.
Yeah, and actually is going to be moving in there. A bit of damage exchange between the two of them. No real major problems coming out there as Vander decided to go in. Selva taking damage. Actually, Vander going very deep once again, but it's almost like a game of chicken between these two supports right now as who's going to go deeper.
Just poking a little bit back and forth. Of course, Opa as well in the mid lane. He's actually still only level 1, so Carter got the early level 2 and therefore got a good poke onto Opa, both of them. Actually down to 50%. Now Opa, of course, still has to last it a bit on the tower. He's going to miss some of these minions.
Yeah, credit to Overpower though for actually managing to get some of that damage back onto Coutard, still whilst being level 1 and landing that bouncing bomb in there. We'll see how that mid lane all develops and where the junglers really are going to put their focus in this early game. Who are they going to be going for? Just want to look down a couple of these summoner spells here, specifically in the bottom lane, the cleanse for Woolite. Never to be underestimated when you've got a slow, squishy champion like Cosmo.
I like it against Leona and also against Aurelia. When they go in towards him, if you land a stun onto him, he needs the cleanse, of course, and then he knows he will get the movement speed. You'll be able to kite with the help of him, but Jankos come in towards this top lane here.
Look, actually flashing very, very early on from this, and Jankos is going to get the slow. Not got the damage just yet. Obviously got the secondary slow as well with the auto attacks and red buff on, but that didn't offer him too much. Airwax here, though, with Evelyn. This is a real chance for him to shine, as he did the last time we saw him on Evelyn against Millennium in that winning game. Actually ended 9-5-15 from that one.
It was a bit of a slow start for him in the game, but then he just, as soon as it came to team fights, he just picked up kill after kill after kill, and he was really, really good at flanking around the enemy team and engaging onto them. And of course, if Copenhagen Wolves can be the aggressive ones when they actually start the fights, it's going to be even harder for ROCCAT to get towards Woolite.
Saw that he missed Flame from Unlimited and talked about that earlier, that he's not been a big Thresh player up until now, and obviously that's something that the team maybe wanted to add into their repertoire for this bottom lane, because Thresh can offer you so much in all stages of this game. Coutard pretty much going to face check in here. Will flash. Jankos goes off to the ward. A Q is going to have to land if he wants to kill. Flashes in, and that is an easy Q and an easy first blood. And now Airwax going to try and escape. This one gets bounced around. Overpower coming in, and he's dead. The Ignite finishes off, and down in the bottom lane it's all going off as well. Vander going towards Woolite. Cleanse already going to be used. There'll be no kill down here unless something terrible happens for either team. And right now it's Unlimited trying to get in range to Vander. Doesn't happen, but ROCCAT, what a start in that mid lane. Gonna also say at the same time, a face check pretty much from Coutard to go into that rush.
So Airworks was actually around the mid lane, then he walked up towards top and whoa, flash forward from Vander.
A slow reaction actually from Vander going in after his flash, allowed Woolite to flash away. Unlimited and Woolite here are very, very low, but I think ROCCAT wanting to be a little bit safer. Although I say that, the dash forward comes in, a good play from Unlimited. Vander not got the range on the Zenith play.
And ROCCAT really needs to punish Woolite for picking cleanse here early on in the game, where there's no heal, of course, no barrier for him. And they have the advantage on Celavar, so they need to get in, poke him again and again. So whenever he's actually low like this, he can't stay, because again, there's no barrier, no heal, so he can't try and bait it. And therefore ROCCAT can take control and now push the wave out, and he's gonna lose a lot here, Woolite.
Yes, the turret's going to soak up most of that, and he's coming only now back into lane, waiting for a bit of gold, I think, to add in with the pots and ward that he picked up. Also got himself a Vamp Scepter on top of his Doran's Blade start, but that is a full, I think, wave and a half, really, even, that was down in the bottom lane. That's going to be gone when he gets there.
Higher wave is gone here. Overpower.
Oh, he's hit 6. He's hit 6. This is real dangerous for Coutard. Ulti going in. Coutard just steps away. Overpower tanking up the turret there. That is not good news for him. In the end, they can't get around. Airwax may be able to craft something if he can sneak in there. Meanwhile, Zazas having a good bash onto Youngbuck in the top lane.
A lot of early fights in this game here. Both bottom lane, mid lane, of course. Now top lane as well, going hard on to each other. Evelyn's going to join in, though.
Coming up there and won't be spotted, of course. Zazas actually diving onto Youngbuck once again. Ulti going to be thrown down. He's going to get the kill, and now he's going to head south as Airwax will try and chase in. He's not got much health remaining here, but Airwax not got the speed. There's the flash to go in. Stun comes down. Here comes Lee Sin to back things up, and that will mean that Airwax backs away, and he's 3 kills now on the board, unanswered for ROCCAT.
Beautiful, beautiful play by Zazas here. Knew he could actually go for the kill, even though Airwax showed up in his lane. Flashed in with the last ult hit as well, got an auto attack and then backed away, and Jankos was nearby to help him out. Very, very strong play from ROCCAT here early on, of course. Jankos been part of 2 of the kills, and then Zazas by himself on his top lane.
Mid lane. So close. As soon as I saw Overpower being aggressive there and the minions low, it's like he's going to hit level 6 any second now. Does, but good read really from Coutard. There's a great play to get Vander back away. Is he going to keep chasing? He is, but the hook will land. This could be real dangerous for Vander. The slow out of the Voidoo's not enough to keep him in position for the Wolves to finish him off, though.
Still has some potions though, so he can regen some of the health and maybe go for another attempt. For now though, he's too low and therefore he needs to back away. Good job by Unlimited, however, with the Flay to actually stop the first engage there and prevented the stun onto Woolite.
Very action-packed start to this matchup, which I wasn't sure what to expect, honestly, from this game. Whether it was going to be such a slow, calculated start from both teams, considering this is the bottom of the table clash. The winner of this will head up into 7th position. The loser, of course, staying down in the 8th spot. But ROCCAT really opening up aggressive. The bottom lane of the Wolves, Woolite and Unlimited also showing that they're not scared of getting their hands dirty there.
And Yangas needs to be careful here because there's a ping ward actually from Copenhagen. Wolves didn't know he's on it. However, Airworks actually is far, far away. He won't be able to join in. It should be a blue buff. Kautar won't be able to try and take it away from Yangas here. So nice blue buff steal actually. Still needs to go back and defend his own.
Yeah, needs to defend his own. And there's no ultimate now, of course, from Overpower after he used that one. And Kautar actually going to put some pressure on him, try and hold him in position. As Jankos comes across, Wild Growth is available for Kautar as the Q is going to land. Airwax is there, not spotted there as the bouncing bomb landing in onto him. And ROCCAT feeling like they could do a little bit of chasing from this one. Bottom lane is going to start to move into position. Kautar at less than half. Airwax is going to walk in, but he takes the Lantern back to safety. And now Celiver in a bit of a 1v1 against Woolite, but there is the cleanse used, which will get it back, or will it? Lee Sin comes in, Wild Growth being used, everyone solo, hook lands onto Banda, Airwax goes in to get the kill onto Jankos, but he get one back for Overpower in the end. Massacre, a messy fight really, that so many more people could have gone down there.
And everything starts from the chase in the mid lane here where Kautar went aggressive onto Overpower, and Jankos is there to chase him down, Airworks joins in, the bottom lanes they join in together here. Nice cleanse from Woolite as well, and then they baited out actually to jump from Jankos, and now they're going towards Celiver.
Double flash actually, Celiver flashed away from the flash out of Kautar. And actually, that was the dash away. He'd already used flash just previously to that one, but good try out of Kautar, trying to get a little bit of an edge from that, but it still leaves ROCCAT in charge of this game. 4-1 up, close to a 2,000 gold lead now.
Still pretty good bait actually from Copenhagen Wolves when Jankos jumped in. Wild Growth there. Managed to keep Woolite alive and just turn around and pick up a kill. Of course, still lost a member for it. But it was good play, especially by Kautar himself with the Wild Growth.
Blue buff actually will be given over there again to Jankos, so he's keeping hold of that, and that's because Overpower got himself a double buff after securing that kill back after they got the buffs from Jankos. So that worked out fine for ROCCAT in the end in terms of transferring those buffs across to the mid laner, and gives Kautar now such a hard time in this mid lane. Behind on levels, up against a double buff Ziggs.
Makes you see if ROCCAT want to keep playing this aggressive here. Jankos going in, they definitely want to be.
Kautar in trouble, down to half, he's going to get bounced against the wall, but Jankos had already used his moves really to try and get in behind him for the kick, and Kautar will be able to walk away. Did have Wild Growth as well available, should that have been needed, and Pulling is just going to come out to annoy the Copenhagen Wolves who are trying to recall.
So they actually stopped him from recalling as soon as ROCCAT starts the dragon here, but because Woolite is out of mana, ROCCAT don't really care. They just wanted to keep him there so he couldn't recall and come back and pick up some farm later on. Airworks is still here. He can try and smite steal this one and then take the Lantern from Unlimited to get out.
So dangerous. The Lantern is there. Can he get in? No, he can't. Airworks now going to be spotted and killed. Destroyed by Lee Sin in the end. 5th kill of the game for ROCCAT. 2nd one overall for Jankos. They get the kill. They get the dragon. Airworks feeling obviously that he needed to do that to try and bring the Wolves back into this.
Had to try something at least. The Lantern was a little bit too early as well, so gave it away for ROCCAT. They spot Lantern and see, okay, we know everyone's going to try and steal this one, so let's just turn around as well, pick up an easy kill. And top lane wise, I mean, yes, Sasas, he picked up the kill, slightly ahead in CS as well, just used the teleport. Youngbuck still has his teleport, but now the dragon, of course, is gone, so it's going to be hard for Copenhagen Wolves to make a play.
Youngbuck's going to get some more pressure from Sasas. Half of his health stripped away just like that. No real follow-up from Sasas on it though. We'll see how that one all develops. As you mentioned, there is the lead from Sasas, building very aggressive as Overpower going to get caught out, tries to jump over the wall, uses a flash in the end. Is it going to be enough to keep him alive? No, Jankos can't get in to give him the help of the shield fast enough, and now Jankos might be the one that's in trouble. He's got a flash here if really needed. Sasas came down to assist from top as well.
So they actually managed to pick up a kill in here. Of course, the satchel charge didn't work for him. The jump from Overpower just straight into the wall, had to flash away, and then it was easy for Copenhagen Wolves to follow. Pick up a nice kill for them, and also they can push down the wave now. Deny some farm from Overpower, and Kautar can actually catch up.
Oh, Youngwood going aggressive on this one. Actually, will use the Dragon Descent, clears out that wave, and I think he's probably going to go home shopping after this. Is Unlimited going to get locked up here? A lot of damage coming back out from Celiver. Well, they're trying to turn it around with Woolite, focusing onto Vander from that one. In the end, it's both supports that go down to about half health.
And Celiver here, despite been farming pretty well, has 2 assists. Actually, doesn't have a BF sword yet, because first of all, the first time he went back, I believe he actually upgraded his boots. Second time he got now the Scepter. Vander again going very aggressive.
Oh, Solar Flare will come in. This could very well be the end of Unlimited. The Colleen coming out. Woolite actually will tank up most of that damage. And Vander is so very low. Spotted in the brush. This should be an easy finish for Airwax. Oh, the stun comes out. And then the flash. That is some pretty sick mechanic from Vander right there.
Yeah, very nice play. The stun flash instantly away. Didn't want to take any chances, of course. Beautiful play. There was no ulti for Airwax. It was still on cooldown, so he couldn't actually slow them down, therefore couldn't pick up the kill. And it means for Jankos now, again, as soon as he spots Airwax somewhere, he just moves into his jungle, picks up some farm. And so far, both junglers been very active when it comes to ganks.
And more wards to blue buff as well. Let's not forget the last one was taken by Jankos, who will spot Youngbuck. Actually lands the Q, but does he want any more than that? He did, apparently, but also then just walked straight off from it as he realized actually Youngbuck does decent amounts of damage here. Double Doran's Blade Shyvana. Also the workings of the Sunfire Cape in there. Meanwhile, Unlimited, who I have to give him his due here. I wasn't sure how he's going to play here on this Thresh, as Youngbuck once again he's going to get pressured from Zazis. I wasn't sure how Unlimited was going to come in here with his Thresh, but his plays have been pretty much on point throughout this one as Leona goes in onto him every time.
Yeah, we need to see what he can actually do when it comes down to team fights.
That's true.
Set up a good hook or save someone with the lance and going into the mid-late game where we really need to see him shine. We also need to see if ROCCAT wants to start putting more pressure on to Woolite down this bottom lane, because he's actually been farming pretty well. He has the cleanse, of course, already for the team fights and been picking up quite some farm. Already got his Blazing King, so for him at least, he can be happy. And Copenhagen Wolves, they need him to be very farmed.
Oh, this could be real bad for Youngbuck. Zazis let's pick up a couple of hits, and the minions gone means that he would have slowed down any pressure they could have put in. Meanwhile, Airwax was spotted there. But here is the blue buff. As I said, stolen last time by ROCCAT, and they're going to put a lot of resources into it again.
3 members are here also. Sasus with teleport close by also in the top lane. They can either take this blue buff and then go towards the top and try and kill Youngbuck, or just be happy with the blue buff and then back away. See, Youngbuck is the target.
Oh, actually fighting here. There is the bomb coming out of Ziggs. Airwax going to go low. Will he finish off here? Surely he does actually get a kill before, and it's onto Zazas there before. Actually, didn't even go down. What am I talking about? The Wild Growth saved him, and he was able to walk away from it. Youngbuck did die. In the end, it's both top laners that fall victim to that fight.
Jankos managed to just kill him under the tower here. Had to flash in for it for the last hit and then moved away. And now back to this blue buff. Airwax, he's still very low. He won't be able to fight at all.
He shouldn't fight, and he's not going to fight. They start to back away. Smite comes in again from Jankos. That will be another blue buff secured for ROCCAT. Theirs is actually already spawned, so they can head straight over there and Overpower get his.
ROCCAT put a lot of focus on the enemy blue buff in this game here. Jankos took the first blue buff by himself. Of course, now they picked up this one as well and going towards their own. Look here for the fight. Notice Youngbuck is first. He's actually pretty much starting the fight. Starts flashes down to his team down here. A lot of damage from Overpower. Good hook coming in from Limited. And then Wild Growth. And also the Lantern actually for Airbucks when he jumps out. Youngbuck left to die pretty much by Jankos' feet. And there's nothing he could actually do at this point.
I was a little confused as to where Airwax actually went in that. Still looking, all right, where's the kill notification? Well, of course, as you said, was the Lantern that he took to actually get out of danger there. ROCCAT here moving towards the bottom side of the map. Are we going to put some plays down towards... Oh, this is bad news for Overpower. Getting caught out in the enemy jungle. Vander's going to have to throw everything his way for the help. And actually, Vander now going very deep. Woolite gets the kill. And that's a blue buff over to the Cogmore, which certainly doesn't help them with 15 seconds to Dragon.
It should mean Dragon for Copenhagen Wolves at least. Teleport is ready on both top laners, so they can both join in case. And ROCCAT, of course, only 4 members left. Shouldn't be able to contest this one. So Dragon now for Copenhagen Wolves, a kill on to Woolite. It couldn't be any better.
So that's the start of the turnaround here. 6-4 in kills. No turrets actually gone down in this game as of yet. 17.5 minutes in. That'll be the second Dragon, of course, of the game. 1-1 in terms of totals on that one. 1 for Wolves there, and that previous This one, of course, going over to ROCCAT, and it leaves us with 1,000 gold being the difference here. Still ROCCAT having the lead on that one. Youngbuck now feeling more comfortable, so that's for sure, in this top lane after finishing off his Sunfire Cape. However, Zazas is close to his Trinity Force as well.
Yeah, top lane has been a big issue for Copenhagen Wolves this game here. Celavar managed to dash away, didn't want to get hooked here by Unlimited. But at top lane, because Youngbuck has been behind in the lane one-on-one, it's opened up for ROCCAT to take blue buffs and also go up top lane and start fights even under the tower here to kill Youngbuck. There's been a big issue, and it's just going to continue to be an issue, because Zazas then will be able to kill him one-on-one with this Aurelia.
This tower is going to be going down, I think, as we see Vander go aggressive onto Woolite Oakland. Here comes Airwax from the side, flash from Vander, and a TP to the turret coming in out of Zazas. They may just hold on to the turret, but they've lost a lot of health from that.
I'm not sure why he didn't cancel it, because he's now actually going to recall instantly and just run back to the top lane. So he should have canceled the teleport here as soon as he saw Copenhagen Wolves back away. And now with Copenhagen Wolves continue to push, if Airwax comes down once again, they can take the tower. Maybe they can even get it by themselves.
Youngbuck actually recall in there to get his health back and also pick up a Vamp Scepter and then teleports back into that top lane. Just in time, actually, to stop that one from taking too much damage from Jankos, who was already pushing those waves out. A bit of ward clearage going on in this mid lane, and I think Coutard is now feeling a little safer with that Athene's done, having his needlessly large rod in. On the other side though, Overpower has gone first item Void Staff.
So with the Void Staff here, going for very early magic penetration, trying to get to the point where he can do true damage, and of course also he wants to be able to kill Youngbuck. Once Youngbuck actually jumps into his face, Airwax comes into his face, he wanted to be able to blow up the tanks here as fast as possible.
Vander and Jankos moving around. Will they get on Coutard? He actually already started to trot off back. They do have a ward just outside of the Dragon Pit anyway, so Coutard will have seen that one coming early enough to not be phased by it. This top lane, interesting now how that all is going to develop, with Youngbuck obviously feeling better about things and starting to claw back in terms of the CS. 173 to 162. And as I mentioned, Zazas has got himself the Trinity Force and also picked up Alacrity Berserker Greaves.
So it's something the Aurelias here in Europe really like to do, so you're so mobile on the map, and also means if you actually go for 1-1, you can chase. Unlimited though, he's in trouble.
He's calling out a position completely, the kick coming in. Actually, Wild Growth comes down. That's a lot of healing, but is it enough to keep him alive? The bomb only really catching Coutard. Unlimited still being pressured.
Wow.
Celeber in the middle of the team is going to go down, and I'm not sure he's the last here. Vander pressured and finished off by Airwax, who flashes over the wall right in front of Overpower. And Jankos, slow comes in, Coutard joins around the corner, Airwax going low, the shield, the hook's coming out, and that is another one. Will they be able to finish off Overpower? They will. Woolite picked it up. 4-0 for Copenhagen Wolves. ROCCAT destroyed in the enemy jungle.
And this was ROCCAT who started the whole fight. They went on to Unlimited. Rest of Copenhagen Wolves joined in. See it in the replay here. Unlimited, he's the first target. Celavar and Overpower running from the mid lane to join. Wild Growth coming in from Coutard saves him. And then look at Celavar now. He's actually going to flash into the hook from Unlimited. Right here he flashes forward. Boom, instant hooked. He's going to be an easy target now for Copenhagen Wolves. And once he dies, damage is gone. Woolite in the bottom of your screen, just dealing damage the entire time. Nobody's touching him. And they can just chase on for this one here. The flash from Celavar, way too aggressive, and then Copenhagen Wolves with great turnaround here, picking up 4 kills. Didn't even lose a single member. Of course, the last two coming in as well for Unlimited.
Really impressive turnaround, and Cogmod is showing why he's so dangerous. Superb range across the
flashing
entire
into hooks
river.
are dangerous too.
Well, yeah, flashing into hooks is something that could probably take out of the Joe Miller playbook rather than anything else. Either way, that's going to leave ROCCAT reeling somewhat. They were up in kills. The start of the game, let's not forget, was 4-0, I believe, for ROCCAT. They looked to be doing everything right. Seem to be really going their way, but they've fallen behind not only on kills now, but 3,000 gold with the towers going down. And now ROCCAT trying to finally get their first of the game. They'll succeed in that mission as well by taking down the outer mid turret.
And this is still one thing ROCCAT can do with the comp. Push down the lane very fast, get some damage on the tower, back away, because they have so much wave clear. And also if Copenhagen Wolves decides to group up and start pushing towards the tower, it's easy enough for ROCCAT to either clear with the ulti from Overpower or just basically kill the wave very, very fast before it even reaches the tower with both Overpower and, of course, Celavar. So they can still extend the laning or extend the game for a long, long time here, and it's going to be hard for Copenhagen Wolves to actually push onto the towers.
but how long do you want to extend the game with a Kog'Maw in the back?
Good point.
We see that he is pretty much a full item ahead at this stage. Got himself that static shiv on top of the Blade of the Ruin King. Only Bloodthirster and the Phage for the flash into Hook Master, at least so far this game. Celeber, and this outer turret in the top lane is so low. It'll be easy pickings for the Wolves. They decide to tank that one up as the minions go down for their third of the game.
That was a very smart move because Overpower was still moving from the mid lane. His ulti was on cooldown, so the wave clear wasn't there for ROCCAT. Ulti wasn't there either, so Copenhagen Wolves could move up, quickly pick up the tower here. And we have to highlight, it's actually the two new players for Copenhagen Wolves with all the kills here and playing super well, both Airwax and of course Woolite.
That was a similar scenario to their win over Millennium as well. 9-5-15 for Airwax in the end of that one. The Graves picking that match for Woolite. He ended up 9-3-13. We also had Kautar doing the business with his Yasuo in that match as well, so that's certainly not something we should forget. But you're not wrong in your point that both Airwax and Woolite coming up good for them this game. However, we see that the Dragon is live and both teams not going to give this one up for free. Top laners both got TP up.
Both got TP, so we should be seeing the first big team fight here with everyone involved. Unless, of course, they want to keep both top laners there. And Copenhagen Wolves starting the Dragon. ROCCAT, though, they should be able to engage this one.
Jankos, he's the one, of course, that you'd be in prime position to steal. And as he starts to walk forward, the Wolves are like, probably should let that Dragon start to reset as the damage comes across.
Teleport.
TP coming in at the back. Vander gets hooked on. Limited is out of position here. Gets the wild growth. It gives them no knockup. And Airwax is shut down as he goes right into the middle of the team. Youngbuck has split them up somewhat. And now they're going to try and focus on the low HP Zazas on Overpowers at about half. And a messy fight. I think Airwax biting off a little bit too much there. But the Wolves keep chasing this one with Woolite doing masses of damage from the back. Gets a big group slow. This is going to be a double kill for him. Is he going to fall? No! Oh, big mess there as well as Jankos comes through. The hook lands onto Celeber. Have they got the damage to finish? Yes! Youngbuck gets that one. That will be a 3-for-1 and a flash 4-for-1.
So the fight actually started out pretty bad for Copenhagen Wolves. Airwax was in a very good position if he got wild growth by Kautar, knock up multiple members, but it was already used on Unlimited, yet they couldn't chase on here. Now they start the Baron. Kog'Maw, of course, will destroy it. Overpower still nearby. No ulti though.
No ultimate. They need to deal with him quickly here. Woolite got no real mana, but he's got a Blade of the Ruin King. He gets the shield as well. The Baron is down to half. Overpower got to try and run this one. Everyone else starting to come in from ROCCAT, but that Baron is falling quickly. There's a flame coming in. Overpower's dead. Woolite will take that kill. Now dominating. They get the Baron as well. Superb from the Wolves.
6 kills onto your hyper carry in the late game. Baron buff as well now. You have Kautar, you have Unlimited to peel for him in the team fights here. Things are looking great for Copenhagen Wolves. They can group up here and start forcing fights. ROCCAT actually want to start a Dragon here.
Oh, this is possibly dangerous for them. Zaz's already falling very low.
Isn't there.
Couple more hits will be doing it. And it's actually Airwax that finishes that one off. Kautar getting the slow onto Jankos. And he kicks one away, but he's got 4 of them coming back in. Surely will be finished off. It's a double for Airwax once again. And the Wolves say, thank you very much, ROCCAT. We'll take those 2 kills and we'll take a Dragon as well.
So first of all, ROCCAT, they were split up. Overpower was also dead, so it's only 4 members here. Copenhagen Wolves move 4 of their members towards the Dragon. Woolite already gone back to base, and yet ROCCAT actually went in for the fight here. Baron buff Copenhagen Wolves as well. Very weird decision here, and of course, they get completely punished for it.
Good lead now the Wolves hold on to. In fact, we're not that far away from a 10,000 gold lead. One question that we always have the Copenhagen Wolves is, when they've got a lead, can they finish the game, number one, without throwing it away, and number 2, maybe how long will it actually take them? They've not been a team that have done that so efficiently in the past, but they've got all the right ingredients here. We've seen how much work those shields do for the Wolves in these team fights. We've seen, well, we've got a 605 Kog'Maw, which is exactly the opposite of what every single ROCCAT fan in the world will have been hoping for.
Of course, but still we have to remember Ziggs can extend the game for a long time. He can defend even against the Baron of team here. So Copenhagen Wolves need to push all the lanes. So they force the ulti from Overpower on one lane, and then they can rotate up to the next one and start pushing in there before Overpower can join into the lane and actually clear the waves. Otherwise, it could be hard for them, unless we see them simply just dive onto ROCCAT and just start a fight and don't even care about the tower.
Stealing away a red buff as they go here. Actually, a little bit of vision was down, and ROCCAT knew that Lulu was there after seeing the glitter lance coming out of the brush. But look at this, they pushed up middle. The entire team is going to come around. They're going to take the decision to tank it, which becomes a lot easier to do when you've got all those shields coming out. And Youngbuck and Airwax stalking through the jungle as well. Airwax actually spotted here, will be connected onto by the Q of Jankos, but it's all about the turret for the Copenhagen Wolves. The wave clear of Ziggs, we all know how strong that one is, but it's not strong enough to hold them off.
Yeah, and they're doing a very good job keeping both Youngbuck and Airwax a bit away from the team, so they're standing on the side here and can always flank around ROCCAT if they try and stay at the tower to defend it. So ROCCAT, they get scared and start backing away. That's why Overpower wasn't able to clear the wave. So very good move and very good job keeping the Evelynn out of sight.
So here comes Airwax. They're going to try and finish off Jankos, who will simply get over to the ward. Half of his health gone, the hook not quite landing. Not enough damage from Kautard to finish off the kill, but it's not really about kills even there. It's about positioning. They get them away from the tower. They can tank it up with Youngbuck, who's already very tanky. Throw a shield on top of him and he can go into those turrets all day long. Another inner turret down for the Wolves, and they simply ping that bottom lane where, again, do they need to wait for the minion waves? Not really.
It's the Evelynn doing so much work because he just roams between the lanes, and it's so hard for ROCCAT to predict where's he gonna go. And then, as you talked about, the shields from Lulu, the lantern of course, move in, get a few hits on the tower, back away before the minion wave even arrives. So Copenhagen Wolves are really playing this one smart.
Kite them back heavily. The glitter lance, not the hardest skill in that kind of scenario to hit, and will slow everyone to an absolute crawl. They can't really chase unless Vander gets going and is able to lock someone up from the team. And you can probably bet that that won't be Woolite. You see him stepping back as soon as anyone comes anywhere near him on those steps from the ROCCAT team.
I'm really impressed. This is how you actually make Ziggs wave clear. I wouldn't say useless, but you make sure he can't just farm away a wave every single time you move in. And ROCCAT, they pretty much have to just engage, otherwise they're gonna lose the tower.
Forgot about the Voidoos as well, which is a massive slow coming out of Kog'Maw there to stop them pushing even further forward, as you saw Vander pushing up. The bottom lane actually has about a wave and a half, I think, with the size of it, pushing in the Copenhagen Wolves as famous. So everything going to plan and then some here.
And of course, remember still, cleanse onto Woolite, so even though he gets stunned by Vander, cleanse, back away, wild growth, everything is there to help him out, and just move backwards, and it's going to be so hard for ROCCAT to touch him. Here we go though!
Jankos coming in, they're going to kick Unlimited into the rest of the team, but how are they going to deal with the rest of them? Kautard and Woolite at the back, and there is Youngbuck diving in. He's gone very, very low, but they've got 2 kills already. They do get 1 man down. That was Youngbuck, who, as I said, dove right into the middle, underneath the tower. But the Copenhagen Wolves, a couple of them still above half HP, and Woolite, with his lifesteal, sticking around there for a while, but they're going to go straight to the bottom lane. That's where that wave, as I said before, had already started doing the work for them with the cannon minion in there. This will be the 6th turret of the game for the Copenhagen Wolves. ROCCAT only their base to play with.
We just saw the team fight here. Jankos went in, he actually wanted to get towards Woolite, couldn't get to him, had to kick back Unlimited into the team. Not exactly the target you want to get in there, not the guy you want to kill. So Woolite was left in the back line, only got hit, I believe, by Overpower maybe from his bomb. And then he just picked up a double kill again. ROCCAT, unless they can get straight onto him and just blow him up instantly, he's gonna destroy them.
And you have to wonder where the tankiness is coming from ROCCAT's side as well. The Randuin's not done yet for Jankos. Got himself a Hex Drinker. The top laner, Zazas, after Trinity Force, we've seen that a lot of Irelias will go that more tanky route and pick the likes of a Randuin's up, but he's gone Zephyr as
should have definitely gone for Randuin's here to slow down some of the Kog'Maw, of course, get towards him, even if it takes a hit, slow down some of the attack speed and everything, or just basically slow down the Kog'Maw so they can actually get to him, kill him, even though they don't lock him up with the first stun.
Although, at the same time, the tenacity, you could also argue, with the multiple slows that are coming out.
But you're Irelia, you don't actually need it. I mean, at this point, it would have been better if Zazas could actually got in there and survived for just a few extra seconds to try and take down Woolite or just take down any of the members from Copenhagen Wolves, instead of now where Woolite destroys them.
And he continues to do so at 805, closing in on 300 CS as well. Looks like his Infinity Edge will be coming up next. Already got the Blade of the Ruin King static shift from earlier. Last Whisper was his last big item that was completed, and he's done so well of staying out of danger more than anything, which, you know, you can do a lot easier when you've running Cleanse yourself, when there's a Mikhail's Crucible as well from your support to really make sure that you're double safe. Oh, Jankos. Ah, baited. Nicely baited.
Expected, yeah. So just jumped away. He also puts down a ping to clear the ward though. Youngbuck still staying around, making sure now they won't get too close with the ward here. And once they actually get into ward, there's of course the ping from Copenhagen to just clear the way instantly.
Well, Fireworks getting closer to ROCCAT here, and I think realizing, okay, we still have to back away from this one. Limited's going very close, and they're going to try and dive on him. There's the Wild Growth coming in, and look at the AoE splashing through the wall. Sazers, Celeber both down to less than half, and Airwax is just running rampant at the back of them. He's going to finish off one, does get taken down by Lee Sin, but the cleanup crew comes around. It leaves just 2 men left alive, one of which is Overpower, who finally gets the shutdown onto Woolite.
But still, ROCCAT, they're too squishy, they're too far behind on items, so as soon as the fight breaks out, even though they catch out a target, Copenhagen Wolves can just turn it around and just do so much damage. Saz was in this fight here, he went in, and as soon as Copenhagen Wolves actually went towards him, he had to back away, because he just went down so fast. Going to Unlimited, notice the health here from Saz. He's a bruiser, he's supposed to tank damage here, has to just flash out instantly as the fight starts, and therefore it's just a chase. It's not even a big team fight, it's just Copenhagen Wolves chasing on towards the kills. Woolite here, down to 50%, Overpower still. Woolite actually picks up the kill here. Managed to land a Q when he actually flashed into it as well and picked up the kill.
So that leaves us with ROCCAT still really trailing when it comes to gold at 10,000. They've only got one tower here. One single tower is all ROCCAT have to their name, which is in that mid lane, the mid altitude, which they took out very early as well in this game. And miles behind in the kills, of course the gold reflecting that as well. 956 the score for Airwax. So of course the AD carry though that's pulling on the really impressive numbers for the Wolves. 818, the Infinity Edge is now done as well for Woolite. Also picking up the Elixir as well. So really wanting that power right now, spending the money as you know, as effectively as he can for the fight that's surely going to be coming their way with that Baron in the map.
Also with a lot of wards from the Copenhagen Wolves in the jungle of ROCCAT here, so they can see everything going on here. They can start the Baron, back away if they see ROCCAT moving in with all 5 members to try and stop them, or they can just try and find the target here, land the hook from Unlimited, and then go in for it.
Bouncing through, there's the hook, lands on towards Vander. He's going to be focused down very quickly as they dive in there. And look at Woolite, so far away from danger, still able to get the auto attacks off. That's a support down, all the CC that goes with it as well, and they almost hooking Jankos. And that leaves them in a 5 versus 4. Bomb is still available, crucially for Overpower, and Jankos, of course, still has his smite in case he can get in there and have a chance of stealing away.
That's exactly why Copenhagen Wolves don't actually start the Baron, because they don't want to risk ROCCAT trying to steal it away. So they're just baiting them in here, land the hook, go for the kill, do the same thing again and again. Unlimited just missed here, but still, if they can take down either Jankos or Overpower, they might go for it.
White is onto the side, and clumping up as a 3 is a juicy target for even more shields. Jankos just baiting time and time again. The aggro on Baron there will lose a little bit of health for the Copenhagen Wolves team. You see now that Vander has respawned into the game, so that's how long it's currently taking them. And you see there the difference in Woolite. 3 KDA against Alliance, 17 this game, and they're going to catch out Unlimited. He's a bit of a mile away from the rest of his team, and the Copenhagen Wolves now trying to focus Vander at the back. Bomb comes around. Woolite, crucially though, is still alive, and that means sure pain for them. Overpower's at the side. He will finish off Woolite. Youngbuck will go down as well. Can they get the damage onto him? Half HP taken away with the surprise at the end there out of Woolite, but Jankos is still going on this. Shield for Airwax. The slow comes down. The Q already in there. Overpower now joining the party, knocks him back into them. Even the slow of those mines, but still not fast enough. Airwax will run away on the north side.
Hiding them away, but such a messy fight here. Unlimited walked all the way behind ROCCAT to just start the fight here, but the rest of the team, they couldn't follow. So he was just left by himself, actually ended up dying for it. And then once the fight broke out, Woolite again was in the back line here, killed Vander first, who went onto him, and then he just did all the damage. But very smart move by Overpower, actually staying at the golem. Didn't have any wards on him, we can see it again here. Fight starts, Unlimited by himself. Airwalks trying to join in, teleport comes, backs away actually. It's a bit miscommunication from the Wolves. They need Youngbuck as well to join in. Down here, Kautard and Woolite, of course. Kautard actually almost died from the bomb without using his ulti. And then, of course, Overpower at the golems. Sneaky from him, I should say sneaky, to actually pick up the kill onto to Woolite here and making sure at least they trade 3 kills for 3 kills.
In the end, I thought, okay, Unlimited's dead before anyone can really react to that one. Funnily enough, he drew out quite a lot of ultimates. So it wasn't all that bad, I think, until the moment that the bomb was perfectly placed on Lulu and on Cogmore at the back. And it looks like we're going to have a bit of deja vu going on as the teams once again get back around Baron. This time, though, the Copenhagen Wolves, I was going to say starting it off, but that would be very untypical from what we've seen so far.
So the Wolves could actually done the same they did earlier in this game, where they just go up towards the tower, shield Woolite, get a few hits on the tower and back away, and just keep doing this because this Baron dance, it's not been working for them yet. ROCCAT has managed to hold them away from actually taking it. Now the minions in the bottom lane is going to give the tower to ROCCAT as well. So Copenhagen Wolves are giving ROCCAT time to get some farm, get into the late game here where at least there's a higher chance of a comeback. And we need to remember, the longer death timers late game here can be very scary. Even though you're far ahead in gold, one mistake in the team fight and all of a sudden your Baron is gone or your base is pretty much gone.
I think base would be the ideal target for ROCCAT, although there's a lot of towers still in this game for the Copenhagen Wolves. And that sweet sound of free money for a Lulu there. Big wave built up in the bottom lane. However, well, I mean, there's no teleport on Youngbuck anyway, so even if he went down to clear it, he would have been unable to join the fight. But his Kautard that was sent down there, and ROCCAT don't want to start a fight off here just now by the looks of it. Limited again, doing the job of clearing out, and ROCCAT will just continue to throw in. They've landed the hook onto Jankos. Unlimited gonna go very deep as Youngbuck dives in there as well. Celiver throwing out his ultimate into the middle of nowhere, and there's a lot of damage done here onto the ROCCAT team. Here comes Airwalks from the side. Is he gonna get down into a good position?
Five-man ult.
Gives him a big shield, and they're gonna get overpowered. That may just be enough to secure them the next Baron in this game. They may even go for more than that. They force ROCCAT out. 5 versus 4
here
for a minute here. There's a minute spawn timer on Overpower. This is going to give them surely an inhib. Will they keep going or will they back off for the Baron?
At least take the inhib, then they can decide from there on. They won't be able to finish with all 4 members here from ROCCAT unless they want to play very, very aggressive. Can't back away and try the Baron. Jankos, of course, still has his smite. There's a chance he can steal it, but unless Copenhagen Wolves, they actually need to really mess it up here. They need to see the Sonic Wave and just keep doing damage, and then Jankos can steal it. Or they can just line it
up. They can just set the trap, which Jankos will fall hook, line, and sinker into. It's Youngbuck that gets that kill. That's the jungler now down for a minute. That means that a Baron relatively safe for them. However, 13 seconds for Overpower to come up. His ulti will be available. I think Baron's already gone by then.
It will be gone by then. So finally it actually pays off for Copenhagen Wolves. Been baiting around this Baron for such a long time. Needed the one hook onto Jankos. He actually jumped into the rest of his team. Unlimited followed. The rest of Copenhagen Wolves came in towards them. Airworks, of course, flanked around onto Overpower. 5-man ult from his Evelyn and managed to get the kills they needed. Took Jankos afterwards, so they got both mid inhibitor and also the Baron here. Well played by Copenhagen Wolves.
ROCCAT answering with a Dragon pickup, which worth at this stage of the game certainly a good chunk of gold, and they'll take every bit of gold that they can have right now. If you look at the AD carries, what a stark difference there is there. With the Blade of the Ruin King, Infinity Edge, Banshee's Veil now, Static Shift, Last Whisper, full item build for Woolite. On the other side, a couple of items behind is Celiver, to be frank. He's only got the Cutlass in. He's working up towards that Blade of the Ruin King. Meanwhile, Kautard here speeding up through the jungle. Airwax is going to reveal a ward, which will be a big ward for them as well. Overall, Copenhagen Wolves are definitely in the driver's seat. Here is Kautard, going to go aggressive onto Xazas. That is a lot of damage. Can they pop the G8? No. Xazas walks out.
Youngbuck is down this bottom lane here, pushing the wave up. Xazas will have to go down, try and deal with him. Both has teleport ready, but still Youngbuck can apply some damage onto the tower, back away. He's tanking up. He got the Baron regen as well to get some damage and back away, and then Copenhagen Wolves can focus all the pressure on this top side.
For now, again, the shield's coming in handy as they tank it up. Unlimited.
Nice.
So much health. They hook in Celiver. Don't follow through though. Fanda getting ripped to pieces by Woolite. Doesn't matter how tanky you are with this Cogmore hammering away on you. Jankos actually going to fall relatively low there as well. But you look at Youngbuck in the bottom lane. He's still pushing onto that inhibitor turret. He may even take it here. In fact, I think he will. He's not going to be too scared of Irelia. That means the top turret is also going to be taken down as they draw one extra player over. The inhibitor worked on now by Youngbuck as well. Zazas dives aggressive for him, but he's simply far too tanky. The Wolves going to take the top inhib. They're going to simply circulate around for the bottom inhibitor as well.
And they can pick up the third one for them. Unlimited just missed the hook up here in the top of your screen. ROCCAT, there's just one thing they can do, and just go for a fight and see if they can win it.
Well, I'm not sure that they can. Vander went all in onto that one. The Wild Growth goes onto Airwax. This should be a whitewash for the Copenhagen Wolves. Jankos tries to flash away. Actually, Selima dies as he tries to get to the fountain, and that is going to be it. The Copenhagen Wolves come in, take down the two Nexus turrets. The Nexus itself will follow, and after 43 minutes, they break through the defense of ROCCAT. And while it was a long game and certainly at points not a pretty one, some real messy fights in there, the Copenhagen Wolves will take that one. They played it well in the later stages, baiting them into that Baron time after time after time. And so the one time that it goes right, that's where you turn it into the win.